What's going on, everybody? It's Jeremy coming to you with another video, and today we're going to do a reaction to the Ice Cube CNN Chris Cuomo interview. I have seen a couple of bits and pieces of it, but I haven't seen it in its entirety, so I wanted to go ahead and let's just do a response to it, a reaction. Here we are over on CNN's channel. At the time of me recording this, it has 1.3 million views, 23,000 upvotes to 6,000 downvotes. Let's check it out. Let's see what happens.
Our next guest is Ice Cube. If you know anything about him, and you probably do, you know he started his career rapping in defiance about police presence and the realities of inner city life. And he got political with his songs as well recently during the Trump administration, most recently in 2018. Here's a taste.
I'm not going to play no songs, so I'm not going to play no songs. Okay, so right here. All right.
Work with the Trump administration. He wants to deal with it. I want to understand it. So should you. So here is Ice Cube on Prime Time. Thank you for taking the opportunity, brother. I appreciate it.
Called him brother. Look at Ice Cube. He called him brother. Shut the fuck up, Chris Cuomo.
Thanks for having me. Chris, your lead-ins are a little misleading.
How?
Of course they're misleading. It's CNN. Of course they're misleading. This is all an attempt to discredit you, to question you. Ice Cube, you are leaving the Democratic plantation. They are going to shame you. They are going to question you. They are going to misrepresent everything that you say, because you are leaving the Democratic plantation. And Chris Cuomo can't stand that thought. Don Lemon can't stand it. The MSNBCs of the world can't stand it. And they are going to shame you. They're going to manipulate and twist everything about you. Just watch.
Also,
well, the Platinum Plan is not my plan. I came up with the contract with Black America. And I didn't run to go work with any campaign. Both campaigns contacted me. Both campaigns wanted to talk to me about the contract with Black America. One campaign said, we love what you have, but let's really dig into it after the election. And one campaign said, we love what you have. Do you mind talking to us about it? And that's what I did. So I didn't run to nobody. And so that was real misleading to me.
See, they're trying to make it sound like he's running to Trump. You are trying to misrepresent this man because he is destroying your lies and your narrative. You are trash, CNN. Chris Cuomo is a trash human being. Let's continue.
well, I didn't say you ran to anybody. I said that you had taken a pivot.
Well, you said I ran over to the Trump team instead of the Biden team. That's just not true.
Well, but you are working with the Trump team instead of the Biden team, and people.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Is this like? Oh, is this how it goes? Does it keep going in this direction? This is painful.
Giving you heat for it. What do you say to them?
Well, I'm willing to work with both teams, but I'm just working with whoever is willing to work with me. So the Trump campaign came to me and asked me to explain to them some of the contract with Black America. That's what I did. I'm not playing no more of these games, these political games. We're not part of a team. We have very broad problems, especially the wealth gap in this country when it comes to Black Americans. So I'm going to whoever's in power and I'm gonna speak to them about our problems specifically. I'm not going there talking about minorities. I'm not going there talking about people of color or diversity or none of that stuff. I'm going there for Black Americans, the ones who are the descendants of slaves. And that's what I'm going to talk to anybody who's in power with that. So if anybody got a problem with that, it seems like a personal problem.
Well,
oh, they got a real problem with it, Ice Cube. They got a real problem with it.
Here's the problem, and it is very personal, as you know, for a lot of people of color, because they'll say, well, why would you pick Trump when he's
not picking Trump? What the? Oh my God. Like, Jesus Christ. He's not picking Trump. He was responding. Did you listen, Chris Cuomo? He said both campaigns responded to him. One said, we will talk about this after the election. The other said, let's talk about it now. What the this is unbelievable.
Says there's no such thing as systemic inequality. Say
I'm
again?
not picking nobody. He's the president.
But why do
He's
you
the
think he'd
president.
want to do something for the community when he says there's no such thing as systemic inequality?
I don't know what he want to do. I just know what the man said. I know what he said to the country. I've never met Donald Trump. So I don't know what he's going to do. I just know what he said he was going to do. So both of them have a plan. Both of them say they're going to do something. And who knows what's really going to happen after November 3rd. Nobody knows from each side. We're all hoping that candidates keep their campaign promises. So that's just it.
So let's look at it this way. I think that you're right to be skeptical. Let's start with the Democrats, because even though there is a traditional connection between black voters and the Democrats, you could also say you've been let down or forgotten by Democrats in a lot of situations that would have mattered. Then you say, all right, so then what makes one side better than the other? That's where you get in trouble, which is, do you really think that Donald Trump can be?
He never said one side was better than the other. Oh my God.
Trusted as much as you could trust Joe Biden?
I don't think I'm not trusting any of them. I'm just going by action. That's all I'm going by. I'm not going by words. I'm not going by rhetoric, not going by media spin, not going by none of that. You know, I'm not on nobody's team. I'm not on Team Blue, not on Team Red.
So then I have that wrong.
I'm an independent person, and I believe that's what black people need to do, is become independent, and we need to get something for our vote. You know, that may not happen, but it's gonna happen.
It's got to happen. It's got to happen. Nothing changes if nothing changes. Look, if I had brought you here to fight with you, you would have known it. What I'm saying is,
My goodness. Chris Cuomo, dude. Oh my God.
I think I did get it wrong, and I want to make sure I get it right. So saying you're working with the Trump team is wrong. What you did was, when they asked to talk to you about it, you said yes. If Biden had asked to talk to you about it now, you would have gone.
How the fuck is that hard to understand? Like, this is what happens when you have TDS. This is what happens when you are only seeing Orange Man bad. You lose all ability to think rationally and just listen. It is obvious to anyone that has paid attention to this situation in the least that that's what happened.
To them the same way. It's not about you choosing anything. It's you working with everybody who's got a chance of doing anything.
I'm working with whoever's in power. Yeah, I'll work with both. Whoever's in power, I'm going to work with. So whoever wins, they'll hear from me.
Okay, so I'm glad you
frequently.
came to clear it up. So Ice Cube is not with the Trump campaign. He's just given his ideas, and anybody who wants to do something with him, fine. Do you believe they are doing anything with your ideas?
I believe, they looked at the contract with Black America and they updated their plan, but it's their plan. I have my plan. My plan is broad. It goes beyond the public sector. It goes into the private sector, banks, even the movie industry. So we got to deal with a lot of different, companies, corporations, and even government when it comes to solving this problem. I believe it's a bipartisan problem. I believe it's a bipartisan problem when it comes to the issues, when it comes to blacks in America and what's going on. It's not a Democrat problem. It's not for them to solve. It's not for the Republicans to solve. It's for both of them to solve. They do it when it comes to debt ceiling. They do it when it comes to getting us in wars. They seem to come together when it's something that really affects America. And I don't think nothing affects America more than the situation that Black Americans find ourselves in. This country is coming apart at the seams, and it's not going to come together after January 3rd, no matter who's the president, unless we deal with this wealth gap.
You have the economics. All of it extends from poverty, which is an extension of opportunity, which is an extension of a system that doesn't give equal opportunity, and you see it everywhere. Hiring, education, finance, all of it. So acutely, we've been looking at what happens when policing goes wrong in communities. It doesn't give you concern that the president has handled police violence the way he has in terms of his commitment to work on any of the issues that you think are important?
We've been dealing with police violence in this country from day one. So police violence is just part of our life here. So, you know, the thing is this, once we get some capital, we'll be treated better. This is a capitalistic society.
True.
And if you ain't got no money, you see how people get treated on the streets when they ain't got no money.
Not just money, wealth.
Wealth.
You got to be able to build up wealth within the community.
Yeah, you know, to put it in greater terms. But
You mean like $500 billion that Trump has, you know, committed to? Cuomo's fucking
you know,
joke.
at the bottom line is, you know, dollars bring dignity. And so everybody in America knows that. When you got a little more money, they treat you a little better. So we need to close this wealth gap. You know, you got people, you know, families making $120,000 or worth $120,000, and you got black families worth $200. It's just an enormous wealth gap that keeps growing. It's not getting smaller. Do the research, and you'll see this is the problem in America. It's because black people have no capital. We own half of a point when it comes to all the wealth in America. Half of a point. 13.5% people living off half of a point. We cannot survive in America another 100 years living like this.
The issue is real. The problem is properly identified. They do have access to capital of about $500 billion, but it doesn't say that it would be earmarked within the Trump plan for communities of color. But we'll see what you can get done, and I make you this promise. Not just because I'm a fan, but the issue matters. As you learn and as you see action and reaction or inaction, you have a place on this show to discuss it. That's a guarantee.
I appreciate it, Chris. Yeah, I'll be back to discuss and let you know what I know, what I find out. But I'm gonna give it to you straight up.
It's the only way I take it.
Side.
It doesn't go well any other way on this show. Ice Cube, I wish you the best. Stay healthy. Be well.
My God, Chris Cuomo is so unbelievably ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm not going to sit here and say I agree with everything Ice Cube's saying. There's a lot of things that I probably would disagree with what he's saying, but the bigger picture is the fact that the media is having a meltdown, that the social justice weirdos are having a meltdown, that so many people are calling him out. I saw D.L. Hughley, you know, retweeted and was putting him on blast, and he was responding to him. And eventually, I don't know. Do I think Ice Cube could bend the knee? Absolutely, I think Ice Cube could bend the knee. I also think that there's a potential that he could continue to, you know, move in this direction. But the whole thing is no matter what the conversation consisted of between Trump and his administration and Ice Cube, the fact that Trump is willing to have that conversation and have his people have that conversation speaks volumes to what Trump is willing to do. He's willing to talk, he's willing to hear you out, and he's willing to take your words into consideration. And he does things that other presidents would never dare do. And that is why he has become such a popular and well-received president, and why the country was doing so well before the beer bug happened, and then it became politicized. But you see the reaction of people like Chris Cuomo. I mean, he sat there and misrepresented everything about Ice Cube in this entire situation. It wasn't difficult to figure out. All you had to do was literally listen to him, what he said on Twitter. But he and the mainstream media have lost their minds, and they're breaking down and they're making accusations about him that aren't true because they can't stand the fact that he and the Trump administration are having a conversation, because conversations are the worst thing imaginable to the mainstream media, because what it does is it continues to expose their lies and their narrative that they have built around Donald Trump for 4 years. And I saw Sean P. Diddy Combs running his mouth, and then people were retweeting pictures of him with Trump all these years at parties and shit. It's like, I don't trust any of them. Ice Cube has said some stupid ass stuff in the past, and it doesn't give me confidence that he's going to stay the course and actually talk to Trump, because he does buy into a lot of the nonsense, but maybe he will. And at the end of the day, the bottom line here is that you see it in Chris Cuomo's face, that they are scared because another person with some influence, another black person with some influence is walking away from the Democratic plantation. That is exactly what's going on here. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you for checking out this video. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. You guys have a great day, and we will talk to you later.